Meditation, the term meditation comes from the root word medicare or something. Exactly how to pronounce, I don't know. Medicare or medicare or something like that. It means medicine cure. So meditation is with the basic idea of healing the system. Both are medicine and meditation comes from the same root, curing. And how it is working, we can have just a look. The same form which we have drawn the morning, it is the science of meditation. We are trying to make the science of meditation. This is the conscious mind. Conscious mind. Subconscious. Unconscious. Superconscious. When the conscious mind is operative, we are very alert. Our sense organs are operating, senses are operating, mind is operating, intellect is operating, all the inner instruments are in motion. Body is also alert. But in meditation, we don't put the body in alert condition. There are meditations like dynamic meditations where you move the body. Otherwise, in the tradition, you sit somewhere comfortably and then you start the process. And when you are settling your mind, you can go down. If you are alert and go on working with your mind, you mostly stay in the conscious level of your mind. Conscious level is the very peripheral part of your mind, which is a very small part actually. Deeper than that is the subconscious area, which is so big, we don't know exactly what is there in the subconscious. Basically, we know that memories are stored there in the subconscious realms of your mind. So, let us see. Suppose this is your memories. Like pigeonholes, everything that has happened in your mind, in your past, is stored, classified and stored in your mind. Everything is classified and stored like pigeonholes in your mind. These are memories. Even from the child of pregnancy of the child is having certain sensations that is coming, and that is all recorded there. Everything that so far we are in the conscious operation of the mind, everything that has happened will be stored here. Alongside with that, all those things that happens in the subconscious, when the subconscious mind is active, that is also stored in the memory. Here it is the dream area and this is the actual waking state. So both in the waking state and in the dream state, whatever happens will be stored in the memory. So memory, sometimes you may be able to recollect memories very quickly. There are times at which even if you try to recollect something, it may not come. And the reasons were traced by masters. They said, lapse of time is one thing. Lapse of time. Something might have happened in your childhood. Maybe you were 3 years old. And then years have passed. Something is recorded properly there, that was very much clear for you. And then at the age of 77, when you are recollecting, there is no big clarity. There is something has happened, the name of the person, I remember, it's there in the tip of my tongue, but it's not coming. And so the memory starts to fade away simply because we are not really taking it back from the memory and looking at it in between. If you are doing that, the memory could be retraced, can be retrieved very easily. But there are memories which you don't need to recollect now and then. So those memories are there, but not tended or taken care of or recollected at least frequently. Then when you try to recall it, by lapse of time, it won't come. So memory has two things. One is retention, the other is recollection. There are two aspects. One is retention, memory, retention. The other is recollection. Everything is retained if you have seen it properly. And sometimes by lapse, this is by lapse of time. You cannot get it back because there is fading of memory. And then change of place. You may be living in India for maybe 20 years, then you move to America or Canada or somewhere, and you lived there the following 50, 60 years. And then when you try to recollect something that has happened in the past, within the 20 years of time of your life, maybe you may not be able to recollect it because you have already changed the whole setup. And there can be no stimulation of those things which were there in your memory because you are not really habituated in that surrounding. So by change of place, you may be not able to recollect some of the memories, though it is recorded there. So lapse of time, change of place, improper stimulation. That is, you may have the feeling to get a memory, but you may not have strong, what you call, push to get the memory retrieved. There is a need, but you don't have the strong stimulus to get the memory, the urgency to get the memory now. If that is not there, sometimes it cannot be retrieved. It is recorded, but not possible. Then improper reading. Improper retention, not reading, improper recording. If it is not recorded because you may be there in a junction and an accident happens and so many people were there to rescue the people who trapped in the accident, and you were also one of them just to rescue the people, and then maybe time has passed, maybe after a week when you are in the street, another person is saying, hello. And then you look at the person and somewhere you have seen, but you cannot recollect the person where you have met. Because your attention was somewhere else when it was going on, the accident was going on, the rescue operations were going on, but this person was not there properly, his image was not properly recorded there. As your attention was somewhere else, when you try to recollect it, it may not come. So, improper recording. Then there is one more thing which is lack of sufficient provocative cause. You need the memory, but you don't have that deep provocation to get the memory now. There is no urgency, there is lack of stimulation to get the memory now itself. That is lack of sufficient provocation of the memory, provocative cause. And these are the situations in which when you try to recollect something, it may not come. It doesn't mean that the recording is not there. It is there. So we have two things. One is recording, the other part is recollection. And if both are properly done and all these conditions are there, you can continuously recollect. But our life is such that we go on changing place, time is changing, shifting, all these things. When it comes, memory could not be traced. It doesn't mean that memories are not there in this memory cells. Maybe big recording, but it is there. All the things are recorded there in your memory. So something happens in the memory. I think I have talked about it incidentally. This is the unconscious realms of the mind. That is, the energy of life is moving to take care of everything which is there in the unconscious area. There is energy supply here, and sometimes the energy of some reason gets into a particular box. This energy flow which goes there, and it enters into a particular memory, and when the memory is entering, the energy is entering there, the memory, which is like a stagnant thing, it gets stimulant, and then it starts to bubble, and it is pushed out to the conscious mind. The memories are surfacing like this, and the force that is entering into the memory box, it's called in Sanskrit Icha. Icha. Icha, Jnana, Kriya, Shakti, they say. 3 different forces are operating in our mind. One is Icha, the base force which works in your mind to stimulate something in the mind is called Icha. It is the life energy that of some reason enters into the memory box and stir the memory box to push out a memory, a stagnant memory, into a thought form. So everything that appears in your mind or projected in your mind as a thought has its root in the memory, and it is stagnant there. But when an energy pushes there inside, the energy that is pushes inside is Icha, and that is entering into the memory box and stirring some thoughts, and the thought becomes, and the memory becomes a big thought here. When it is in the conscious level, you understand that there is a thought. It already started from the memory. At this level, we may not see it. Memory is triggering, and then you are not aware. And then when it is starting to surface and comes to the conscious mind, you understand that there is a thought. Till that time, you won't see it. But for a practitioner, he can go down to the memory. There are practices to retrieve the memory, stimulate the memory, to see what is there in the content of the memory as a part of finding out the remaining karmas which you have to fulfill for you to become peaceful. That we all know, but we are not taking care of it most of the time. There are many of the contents which are there in the consciousness, in the memory, we are not aware of. And some are very stimulant. Sometimes it pops up, and then you get the chance to understand what is there. So the reason of a thought to surface from the memory, a recording to surface into the through the subconscious region to the conscious level is connected with your karmas. If no push, no action. So thought is considered as the subtle action. The physical action is the gross action, and thought is the subtle action. So we have many subtle things like that to be fulfilled. The question comes, why it is becoming part of your karma if there is a recording there? Recording is not creating your karmas, but your bond on the recording is what drives you into karmas. If you don't have a bond with some of the memories, it won't surface. It can surface, but you will not get the push to burst it into action. So all those bonded karmas are really pressed there. They wanted to come up in your conscious mind to show you that this is something which you have to do. And you don't need to go there and look, it comes by itself. You can also go down and look what is there in the content of your mind. In meditation, we are going there and looking. Usually it shows. Everything which is there will be shown. And there is a these are the memories. And as I have seen in where on the colored pen on the colored color I am drawing the memory boxes now. This is just a graphical representation of something which is happening inside you. This I have drawn before also. So, these are memory. You imagine that there are many boxes where the memories are stored. That the boxes are the memory cells. There are 5 boxes. And one box, these are going with the elemental system. This box, suppose, is the ether element box. It's the air element, fire element box, air, fire, water, and earth element. So during the time, we have seen that there is a fraction of 1 hour where each and every element comes and plays its role. 20 minutes earth element will be dominant. 16 minutes water element will be dominant naturally. Then 12 minutes air, 12 minutes fire, 8 minutes air, and 4 minutes ether. So when the ether element is on for 4 minutes, memories associated with the actions that you have done in association with the ether element aspects will be active there. If the energy passes, so this door of suppose this is a one-way door, it opens there. That 4 minutes it will be open. When it is open, the energy which is passing here, it goes inside. So there are many memories here, like thousands of memories, of which you may have established a bond with particular memories, and that memory is active memory and it starts to surface there. Associated with that, there will be many memories belonging to the ether element that will be stimulant at the time. Then this is a very interesting science, and then when you come to the air element, then there are so many memories here. When the air element time, which is 8 minutes, this is 4 minutes, 8 minutes. The aspects of the air element, you know, love, compassion, empathy, generosity, and all those things. Beautiful things which you have done in your life is there, of which you may have an attachment with certain things or a longing to continue some of your work. And so you have established a bond on that, and that they are active. When this box is open, it closes, this box closes, and the next box opens. And so there are many memories here, of which when the energy enters, it stimulates some of the memories, and it comes and it becomes a thought. And then we have the fire element, 12 minutes of fire. 12 minutes of fire. During this 12 minutes, this door will be closed by the time, and this will be opened. This door is open. So energy enters, and there are memories, and it starts to surface here. And then it goes to water, the same thing, and then the earth element. 20 minutes earth, 16 minutes water, 12 minutes fire, 8 minutes air, and 4 minutes ether. And these are the time the door is kept open. So corresponding memories starts to surface. When it surfaces and reaches the conscious level, you understand that this particular thought is there. That is the time you recognize. When it is here and when the stimulation happens, usually we are not understanding because it has not formed into a thought. And that's why we may not be able to know what is happening. As I was saying before, if you are so vigilant in your meditation, what you call practice for a long time, even without surfacing, as you have been looking at all these areas when it is surfacing normally, or you are doing practices to get there to actually see what is the content which is there, then even before it comes, some tickling sensation, then it happens into your memory by the entry of Icha, the life force. You will immediately see this is the root of the thought. Then after some time it comes on the surface. So this is how we are studying. There's a big way for you to go there to the root and understand what is the content of your consciousness, of which are the things you are bonded, and bonded memories are the cause of your karmas. That karmas you need to do. If you are not doing it, then you will have the feeling of bondage. Because I am bonded, I have to do that. I have to do this, that, like that we are feeling sometimes. And these are how the karmic bond is established in the memories. There are many memories like this. So when it is surfacing, it surfaces in the form of a thought. Life energy, pure life energy through. Yeah? Inner unconscious realm, അത് എനർജി ലൈഫ് എനർജി എന്ന് പറയുന്നത് നമ്മുടെ ഇതിൻ്റെ ഞാൻ ഇവിടെ മാർക്ക് ചെയ്തില്ലേ, ഇവിടെ ഇങ്ങനെ എനർജി ഫ്ലോ കിടക്കുകയാണ്. അത് ഈ അൺകോൺഷ്യസ് ഇതിൽ നമ്മുടെ എല്ലാ ഇൻറ്റേർണൽ ഫങ്ഷൻസ്, all the internal functions are carried by the life energy. So this is the area where the pure energy is flowing. And sometimes if the box is open, it enters there. It is a life energy that enters into the memories. And then so these are the memory boxes here, and from there suppose a thought is surfacing here. Maybe it is earth or ether or whatever, something is surfacing, it is coming up. It goes into the conscious mind. You understand the particular thought is there. And a thought is not staying as a thought always. The thought has a direction and a movement. Thought itself is a movement and it has a direction. തോട്ടിൻ്റെ നേച്ചർ അതാണ്. തോട്ട് ആൻഡ് നേച്ചർ ഓഫ് തോട്ട് എന്ന് വെച്ചാൽ അതൊരു മൂവ്മെൻ്റാണ്, എനർജി മൂവ്മെൻ്റാണ്. മൂവ്മെൻ്റ് ആൻഡ് ഡയറക്ഷൻ. It is aiming at something. The aim of a thought is fructification. And it is moving for fructification. All thoughts which are coming up is not simply coming and going away. It has an intent. The intent is fructifying something. Otherwise, you feel restless. So as soon as the thought comes, it is moving forward for fulfilling something. This is what thought is doing. So then when the thought is really starting to move with the intent to fructify, that's the time your energy moves towards the Pingala side, and thereby you get the stimulation to the work organs or karmendriyas. You are in the action plan now. the right side nostril will be on at that time. Thought came up for some time, maybe 1 hour, many thoughts have come, and then you cannot sit thereafter. Then it is pushing you to action. So when that push is coming, you can see Pingala, right nostril will be on, and then you are really not able even to sit in the same place because of the tremendous push of the thought. You get restless, you get up and you go and do it. When you get that force, it is time for you to actually materialize it. It is like that. We go on thinking about something, and one day suddenly you feel that now I have to go and fix it. And that is the time your energy is allowing you to go and do this thing. And the harmonious system where you can make it happen is when Pingala is active. Otherwise you go on thinking. And then after that you go on acting. So the thought is considered as a subtle action in that respect because it is not transported into the physical level. It still remains as an action, but a subtle action. And when it is coming in the conscious mind, you drag certain things from the memory to actually understand why it is coming now. The thought is coming and you feel that maybe I can do something about it. And maybe suppose you are going to construct a house, a thought of constructing a house comes in your mind. So as soon as this thought comes, allied thoughts are ready to come to support. So many thoughts are there, they will come. Oh, maybe I must get a contractor. And so all the images of the contractors or the information that you have had in your memory immediately pops up because it is really categorized and kept in well organized way. Catalogs accounted. So all the thoughts will come. And so you get a lot of input from your mind itself showing. Then maybe not enough. So you are going to put it into action. You take the phone and call, do you know this architect? See, now you cannot simply sit and go on thinking. The stimulus comes to you to call somebody and get a little more information. But half an hour before you were not doing it. So when there is such a provocative cause is there, then you cannot sit there and go on thinking. And that is enabled by the change of breath on the Pingala side, on the right nostril, breathing. So that's the time you get up, you call, and then I say, we meet there, and then you go on doing for a little time, then you get maybe bored or the breath changes to the other nostril, you stop it. So this is the plan that is done by the mind. So now when you are in the conscious mind, a lot of analysis and synthesis takes place here because you wanted to really understand a little more whether your action is in some ways looking for some support or things like that. And then you get as much information as possible by the time your energy changes and you push yourself to action plan. And then when action is going on, you are recording everything in the memory. Everything that is happening is recorded in the memory. And when this memory is actually having sufficient input about what you have done, then it rests. And then what happens is, it goes on recollecting things and evaluating it. This is all what our mind, normally our mind is doing. In the memory, a lot of things are there. Then you have to have an evaluation of this. So it changes in the mental side, like Ida will be active, and then you go on really thinking about it, whether it was okay, what I have done was okay, or maybe not okay, I should have done that, this, and all these questions will come. And then you get some kind of a control. And then now you are resting. Everything is brought down to the memory and it stays there. So in this process, what is happening is we lose our rest because there is a constant program is on. You are not physically active, but a constant process is on inside the mind continuously, many hours every day. Thereby we get tired. And when we get tired, we cannot do anything more. All the sense organs are putting down, senses are put down, analytical process is put down, everything is put down, and then you are resting. Then you are going, like what I have said in the morning. Then you wanted to sleep. Then you recuperate your lost energy by resting in the sleep, and then you are better. Tomorrow you can do the following things.